The actual Lost Mile was meant to just be a snap solo. I got skills. Okay, is this working? How are we doing? Welcome everybody. I'm assuming it's working because it feels to me like it's working. It's a feeling I have. Nice to see you all. Thank you so much for tuning in for the Lost Mile 3rd anniversary live stream Q&A mega event extravaganza. We have spared no expense on this event. The Rockettes are going to come out in a bit. Just give it a little time because I don't want to. You gotta pace yourself. Okay. Hello, everyone. I see some familiar names and faces out there. That's great. Thank you for tuning in. Want to get right into it. So the Lost Mile. Thank you so much. First of all, I think I said this, but thanks for spending some time with me tonight. This is fun for me. It's a privilege to be able to have people care enough about the music that we make to tune in for something like this. So thank you. I say this on our Stage It shows. We do a Stage It show every Thursday night called Thursday Night Therapy. Hello to all the Thursday Night Therapyers. I say this every Thursday night. If I'm looking this way, I'm looking at the camera. If I'm looking this way, I'm looking at the chat. So I'm not ignoring you if I'm doing this. All right. So the Lost Mile. Let's talk about it. We had a lot of questions. First of all, I want to thank Mike Weberman, who I think is here in the chat somewhere. Mike helped me sort of compile the questions and help me. He's helping me with a lot of things right now. So if everybody wants to, I would love it if we could say thank you to Mike Weberman. Thank you, Mike Weberman. So this record is obviously, well, on some levels, I think it's obviously very different from some of the other stuff that came before. And yet at the same time, it is maybe just part of a journey that started with some of the songs, I guess, maybe carrying on Burning the Days, certainly Love Struck on Echoes from the Underground and other songs as well. I love Depeche Mode and I love New Order. And I've been doing this, I've been writing songs now for a long time, and I wanted to just genuinely continue my journey wherever it took me. And so as a guitar player and being mostly proficient on the guitar, sometimes you get to know it so well that you kind of don't discover as many new things. So for me, I turned to the keyboard and just started kind of poking around. I'm by no means a talented keyboard player, but that actually helped me just have fun discovering the sounds that I heard in my head. So this record does have a fair amount of keyboard on it. In fact, we're going to go through some of these questions from the ones that were submitted. I want to make sure I try to get to those. And I also want to give you a little bit of background here up top about who was involved in the making of the record. I want to play a couple songs, and then I also want to try to, if I can, get to the live chat as well. So we're just going to get into it. Here we go. So the first thing, the most obvious thing, is the album cover. Justin Wolfe, who has worked with me since the re-release of Go, and I sort of feel like I've found my soulmate as far as art design goes for Vertical Horizon music. He did Echoes from the Underground as well, and obviously did an incredible job, I think, on this. The Lost Mile as a title came to me, started with the feeling that I would always get when I was coming home after a tour. I could be traveling from Singapore to get back to Los Angeles, But and all of that time seemed to go very, very quickly. But the last mile before I got home seemed to take an absolute eternity. So I started thinking about what is it about that the last mile that is pulling you so hard towards home, towards the connection, towards just that home. And then I thought about all the miles that are gone along the way and the connections with people that have happened for a while and then not happened, or rather not happened, but gone away. And fundamentally, this record is about love. Fundamentally, this record is about being absolutely in love with an incredible, incredible person, and wanting to write some songs for her. And so, as Justin and I were speaking about the art for it, I loved the idea of having something that was never ending. And we came up with the sort of infinity symbol. Justin came up with the infinity symbol. And we were just sort of talking it through. And I had this sort of brainstorm. Well, what if we do that and then add turn it into almost a clover? And that's what we call it. I love very simple, iconic images. I love seeing something that sticks in your mind instantly. In fact, Death Cab for Cutie, I think their record is called Codes. It has just the number sign from the telephone. Those types of images I love. So I want to thank Justin Wolfe for his incredible job on the album art and booklet. Also, the photography, the picture of me looking all sulky on the stairs. This one, very sulky Matt. That was taken by Craig Renwick, one of my best friends in the world, an incredible photographer. And I'm always grateful for that. I took the rest of the pictures just different places around the world. The picture in the first picture in the booklet is in Tokyo. I think the second picture may be in Tokyo too. The third picture I think is in Budapest. The fourth picture is in Israel. So it's from places all over the world. I want to talk about the people who were involved in the making of this record. Ron Lavella, who has been playing drums with us for a long, long time, played amazing drums on this record, and I was pretty, I wouldn't say domineering, but I was very focused on what I felt I wanted to hear from the drum performances. So by and large, with the exception, say, of the end of True Illusion, where he kind of goes crazy, it's a pretty reserved performance. It's a pretty reserved performance from all of us, really. And I just wanted to embrace that. So Ron, we had like towels on the drums, and I think a lot of people think that there are more samples, drum samples on this record than there actually are. There are quite a few, to be fair, but there's an awful lot of real drum performances from Ron. Sean Hurley played the bass. I mean, what can you say about Sean? He's, just an absolute legend to me at this point, and also a dear friend and brother. And I just love the way he performs and hears the bass and what it adds to the song. It's stunning. Richard Marks sang harmony vocals on I'm Not Running. He and I also wrote that song together. This record was mixed by Ben Gross and Paul Pavao at the Mix Room here in Burbank, California. It was mastered by Ted Jensen. Well, just to circle back, Ben Gross has a long, long history with our band. He produced Everything You Want, is one of my favorite people that I've met along my journey, and he's another brother to me. I just can't say enough good things about Ben Gross, and I loved working with him, as I always loved working with him. So thank you to Ben and to Paul. Paul's a stunningly talented mix engineer. They both helped me, as did Ted Jensen, who mastered the record, helped me to, well, on some levels, protect me from myself. There are times when I go a little too far, and they all kind of helped reel me back. And then at times, they would say, hey, that sounds good. Drums and bass were recorded by Tom Weir here in Los Angeles at Studio City Sound. Studio City Sound is an amazing studio, and Tom Weir has this great family operation. I've always loved working with him. This record was also engineered by Joel Numa, who is another, longtime Vertical Horizon contributor, an amazing just an amazingly talented guy. So Joel Numa and I engineered it, as well as Tom Weir. So I'm going to sing a song to get the, again. People sort of say, like, how do these songs, how do they, you're a dog and I'm not. How do these songs translate? You can tell me. Here we go. Looking up on star fields tonight, wide awake by the candlelight. Never held like this before, never felt like this before tonight. Before tonight, and as the truth dawns across your quiet face, take a breath just to see what it takes. Never cared like this before, never dared like this before tonight. Before tonight, yeah, whatever may come, whatever may go, no one can stop this, nobody knows. Whatever, I'm gonna save you. Yeah, whatever you've done, whatever you're crying, no one can catch you now that you're mine. Whatever, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna save you. Whoa, whoa. I'm gonna save you. Whoa, whoa. And when the day breaks, we'll head for the sea, and perhaps we'll begin to believe we'll make a damn fine show of it. We're getting gone, so go with it tonight. Yeah, come with me tonight. Yeah, whatever may come, whatever may go, no one can stop this, nobody knows. Whatever, I'm gonna save you. Yeah, whatever you've done, whatever you're crying, no one can catch you now that you're mine. Whatever, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna save you. Whoa, whoa. I'm gonna save you. Whoa, whoa. You are safe within this light. You're safe within, you're safe within. You are safe within this light. Listen, light. Listen, light. So maybe this is the way we begin. Let our names fade away into the wind. Yeah, whatever may come, whatever may go, no one can stop this, nobody knows. Whatever, I'm gonna save you. Yeah, whatever you've done, whatever you're crying, no one can catch you now that you're mine. Whatever, I'm gonna save you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yay! Great. So that's the first song on the record, I'm Gonna Save You. And it was based on a dream that I had. I had this dream. I had read. I'm a fan of Cormac McCarthy's books, and I had read No Country for Old Men, and the sense of needing to run, needing to flee from something that some bad deed or something. I had just had this dream that the woman I love confessed that there was something, she had done something really bad, and I was like, we're out of here. Let's burn it all down and let's go. And it was that kind of intense, absolute conviction that nothing else mattered. And that's a theme throughout the record. So, yeah, someone said dark book. John Glover, dark book, very dark book. So let's get into some questions. Why don't I go through, I'm going to go through individual songs, talk a little bit about them, answer some specific questions, and then I'm going to go to the other submitted questions. So the second song on the record is called Written in the Stars. And, you know, I think over time I have struggled at points in my life with optimism, I've struggled with being a glasses half empty kind of guy and being down and depressed. And I try to reach up. I call it punch up. I always try to punch up. But it's an effort. It's an effort. And I felt like writing a song where that just was going to say, hey, we're undeniable. Whoever the we is. If it's you and me, whatever. It's just the we is us, just us. We're undeniable. We're going back. We're going in. We're going to burn every failure down. We'll start again in plain sight because we are written in the stars. And I just loved that. I've tended to write about darkness a fair bit, and that's okay. But I also wanted to write about blinding light. And to me, Written in the Stars is just that, where it's just, we are beautiful, we are whole, we are pure, we are undeniable. And let's just allow ourselves to be that way. So let's move on. Lighthouse. A couple questions for that. Random Balbum on Instagram. What was your inspiration for Lighthouse? I love this album, by the way. Thank you very much. And Mr. Demius on Twitter. I love the song Lighthouse and the album. My question is, what inspired you to write this song? I feel emotions of the lyrics gleaming through like the song itself is searching for its lighthouse. That's beautiful. I absolutely need a lighthouse. I could use a lighthouse most days. And I think when I was writing this song, I certainly was channeling Peter Gabriel. There's a lot of Peter Gabriel here on this record. But, you know, my eyes are hurting. I've been searching for a lighthouse. In all this darkness, just when it's hardest, a lighthouse. And again, just trying to maybe talk about something optimistic. Talk about something that can help us and save us. There's the bridge in this song, and we've talked a lot about bridges on the other things, on the other ones. I love the bridge in this song. It's leaving time, I need to go. I can't rest here tonight. I can't remember why. It's getting dark. It's getting cold. I really need the light. I can't remember why. I really need the light. I can't remember why. Was a lyric that just kind of hit me hard. Okay, onwards. More. So more is probably the most Peter. Maybe if Peter Gabriel was, listening in on maybe this song, he'd be like, hey. For me, more is, it's one of my favorite songs on the record. And that conviction, when you know that you're better for somebody than the person that they love, you know into the depths of your soul that you would take better care of them, and they don't see it that way, or they're with somebody else. That feeling is so miserable. I've been there before. Everything You Want is effectively about that. Slowfall Music asks about more. I know you write all of your songs from the most honest and intimate place possible, but I feel like the lyrics on this song seem to come from a more direct, deeper, and even more personal place. What was the inspiration behind this one, and how scary was it to tackle? Thank you for doing what you do and just for being you. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you, Ryan. It was sometimes I think songs, choruses specifically, well, songs in general, lyrics can be complicated, and you can work hard to craft the thing, the lyric, the clever turn of phrase. And then there are times when it's just, I love you more. That's it. And when I stumbled on that, the song basically wrote itself. So I will say that one little thing I love about that song is the bit at the end. I'm going to try something that may or may not really work. But the bit at the end, I'm going to see, this may not work. Who knows? So that bit for me was one. I don't know if you could hear that. Hopefully you could. But that part for me was a cathedral. It was just about building something that just kept growing and growing and growing. And that section, the whole song was supposed to be pretty small and then just grow to this inevitability that couldn't be denied. It couldn't be denied. That's what I needed from that song. Okay, onwards. Out of the Blue. Steve Drews on Facebook. Out of the Blue has such deep lyrical content and a beautifully somber piano part. Where did your thoughts take you when those lyrics and that piano part came to you? Interesting. Very good question, Steve. Again, the lyric, out of the dark, into the blue, out of my head, over you, into the light, into the sun, staring at you, out of the blue. I love the bookends, the way it sort of, it bookends itself. I do love that. Darkness fades to blue. That was the lyric. Sometimes the first lyric in a song is the one that you need, and or that you get first, and it just sort of leads you by the hand. this song did that to me. Darkness Fades to Blue suggested the break of day was on its way. And again, optimism, trying to look at the bright side. And so I'm trying to stay cognizant of time here. The song sort of built into this huge thing from the ba da 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 da. That part just sort of was the piano part just sort of came to me. I'll tell a story really quick. So one of the wisest people I ever met in my life told me a story. This might be important. So I was telling him that I was having a hard time letting go of certain things. And he told me that he was walking on the beach with his daughters, and his younger daughter was running ahead. I think it was his younger daughter, it doesn't really matter. One of his daughters was running ahead and throwing stones in the water and having fun, and his other daughter was picking up a stone and looking at it and then putting it in her arm. And then she would see her sister throwing the stones, and she would pick one up and think, maybe I'll throw it. Then she'd look at it and think, oh no, I like this. And she started holding all these stones as she was walking. She started sweating, slowing down, getting tired. And he told me, my friend said, sometimes you just have to put the stones down. And I feel like I've lived my life holding on to a lot of stones. And when his little daughter looked up to him at one point, she said, Daddy, why am I holding on to these stones? And he said, sweetheart, I don't know. Just let them go. And she dropped them onto the beach, and she ran up with her little sister, and they started playing and having fun and enjoying the day. So that moment that's one of the most important things that I've ever learned. So there's Out of the Blue. I'm Not Running, I wrote with my dear friend Richard Marks, and we wrote it a long time ago for a duo record that we did. And I just wanted to try it slightly differently. Obviously, there are a lot of nods to Depeche Mode and New Order on this record, but specifically, if you listen to I'm Not Running in the chorus, there's an ascending bass line that is, I think, the only bass line that I performed on the record, with a pick and some chorus, and I did my best Peter Hook impression. So Peter Hook, the legendary bass player from Joy Division and New Order and Peter Hook and the Light, and just an incredibly seminal voice on the instrument. I sort of tried to have a little nod to him. So if you listen to that song, you'll hear that. In fact, let's sing I'm Not Running together. It's a miracle if you stop and think about it, then we could fall in love at all. The fallen wishes that led me to this moment are echoing inside my head, but I don't hear the call, 'cause I'm not running, I'm not running. Every storm just makes us stronger coming through. I'm not running, I'm not running. There's no chance that I won't take to be with you. just give in and say we were outnumbered by all the reasons to let go. But something sweet as this is bigger than everything we're facing. And I am going to stand beside you until at last you know that I'm not running. I'm not running. Every storm just makes us stronger coming through. I'm not running, not from nothing. There's no chance that I won't take to be with you. And all the lies and all the fears wash down your cheek and disappear. Here's to light, let the dark be gone. I'm not running. I'm not running. I'm not running. I'm not running. Every storm just makes us stronger coming through. I'm not running. No, not from nothing. There's no chance that I won't take to be with you. I'm not running. I'm not running. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. How about this mug, huh? I want to say thank you to my Thursday Night Therapy crew who have kindly given me some presents. I get to watch myself, stare at myself as I drink this tea, which is, I mean, that's the best way to drink tea. Let's be honest. If you haven't tuned into Thursday Night Therapy, please do. It's on stageit.com/vertical horizon on Thursday nights from 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern until about 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern. So love to see you there. You can pay whatever you like. Let's get back to the questions. And now, okay, so we're on now, song number 7. Now, we did a show in India. I want to say it was maybe 4 years ago at a festival. And India was the first place I had ever traveled to outside of the United States. When I was a kid with my high school history teacher, a gentleman named Mike Boyce, who's one of the most important people in my development. He was I was a senior, sort of, whatever you call it, in his dorm. He had a dorm, freshman dorm, and I was one of the proctors. Thank you. And Mike Boyce taught me a lot about life. He had served there in World War II for the British military in India, and he invited, I think, 5 or 6 students to go with him to India. So the first time I ever left the United States, I went to India. And all these years later, Vertical Horizon's music brought me back to India. It was incredibly powerful for me, an absolute joy, privilege, honor. I loved it so much, and I can't wait at some point to be able to to go back. But when we were playing, there were 10,000 people there singing along to all the words to these songs. And I just thought, you know, that moment was the inspiration for now. And yeah, so if you give a listen to that song and just think about me kind of singing on that stage and being blown away so many years later that my music could bring me back to the place that started everything in terms of my joy for my love of travel and my incredible desire to experience new things. Yeah, fall into the rhythm that surrounds you. It's all around you. A sound like sunlight. Again, sunlight, light. Rise up from the middle of the ocean. You are in motion, and there's no pain right now. Not now. So that's where that song came from. True Illusion. So this song, let me ask, Karen Mado on Instagram, hello Karen, has the song for question rather for about True Illusion. I love the Lost Mile. So of course I am looking forward to this Q&A. Thank you, Karen. Please tell us a little about True Illusion. What was your inspiration for it? I can't pick a favorite because they are all quite excellent. Thank you for taking the step to move out of your comfort zone and let the music show a different side of your talents. That's such a kind thing to say, Karen. Thank you very, very much. Well, I am a huge Elbow fan, and the lead singer and lyricist for that band is a guy named Guy Garvey. And he... so if you like True Illusion, I urge you to buy or stream or whatever, but just buy The Seldom Seen Kid, and specifically these two records, although you really can't go wrong, but Elbow, The Seldom Seen Kid, and Build a Rocket Boys. Those two records are mind-blowing, and his lyrics are poetry, like up here. And I was thinking I'd love to kind of inhabit some of the spirit with which Guy writes his lyrics. See if I could sort of experiment with that, maybe a little bit more of a poetic voice. Specifically, no rhymes in the verses, and there are no rhymes. I try to, again, a lot of this record is about me trying to not just do the things that we've done before because we've done them that way. This record is about trying things that we haven't done before and seeing how that feels. And I think for me, it's felt incredibly liberating to make a record like this. Like I am so grateful to this record for what it has taught me. And one of the things it taught me is you don't always need to rhyme. So, but I will say that the lyrics in the chorus to True Illusion, and by the way, the Stage It show on Thursday night this week will be all songs from The Lost Mile. So if this isn't enough music for you, and I totally get that, please do tune in, give it a try. But the lyric to this chorus was something that I sweated over this lyric. This lyric was another type of cathedral to me, because we may be one day in a lifetime, one name in a bloodline, one word in a love song, sung into oblivion, one deed shy of greatness, one G short of weightless, torn apart with heavy hearts, still we believe. It's all right this time. We'll give everything for a true illusion. So yeah, that chorus is a moment for me, and really just the truth of living a life, seeing the ways in which you've achieved something that might be on its way to a greatness of some sort, and ways in which you've fallen and ways in which you've failed. So And I loved the. So we used to play. I need to give it a hefty nod to David Gilmour and Pink Floyd. We used to do Comfortably Numb in the middle of We Are. In fact, I've done it at least once on the stage at shows as well. And I loved, I mean, that solo in that song is mind blowing. And I wanted a moment on this record to have something that I could, where I could feel a little bit of that juice that I felt when we used to play Comfortably Numb. So that's where that came from, that whole bridge section musically. One Day is an intensely personal song for me. And it's hard for me to even talk about it. But really it's just about loving, about knowing how lucky we are to have people that we love in our lives. And knowing that someday they and we will be gone. And it's important in those moments to be present in those moments. To be breathing that air and feeling the goosebumps and knowing, hey, this is something I need to carry with me during the days to come. That's One Day. Save Love, the song that ends the record, comes back on, in some ways, full circle to what started the record with I'm Gonna Save You. That sense of if we need to leave and get out of Dodge, if I have you with me, there's nothing else I need. I'm full. I'm complete. And so hold me like there's nothing left, and all we have is in our hands, and everything can turn to dust as long as there's the two of us. We'll give it all away to save love. So those are the songs of the record, and I want to address some of the other questions that came through. Some of these will be probably inherently treading on ground that we've covered a little bit. Sunshine Sophie Ray, hello, Sophie. What's your process for recording a record? It's a great question. We used to do demos, and now I don't really do demos anymore. I just start working on the song. So everything here, obviously, there's a lot of gear here, and I just basically start making a record. Every song is record quality, let's say. So I don't ever do anything and think, well, I'll have to do that again. I just start thinking this is the real deal. When I'm recording keyboards, most of it is into sequencer, so I can help myself be a little bit more competent sounding than I really am. I don't mind, I love that experience. I love the voicings that I can hear in my head on the piano and on keyboards. Melody Storm on Instagram, were your Lost Mile lyrics independent or led by melody? Generally speaking, I hear a melody in my head, and I'll sing nonsense words, and very seldomly, but importantly and incredibly valuably. TNT. I will sing in that moment where I'm singing a nonsense, just a sound. A word will come out that is actually meant to be in that spot. And then you can almost, in some ways, sort of build the wall around it. That brick is there, and then all of a sudden you can start building it up, and the song will kind of reveal itself to you. That happens sometimes. Eleanor, dearest Chuck, what song did I spend the most time on? The End of More took me a lot of time. I guess I'd probably say that. The other song is Out of the Blue. Out of the Blue was a huge endeavor. True Illusion, ironically enough, although it's a long song, came together pretty easily, pretty quickly. Curtis, Kurt's FBI agent says, "What's your favorite song?" Mine is "Written in the Stars." I love that you like that song. The chorus in that song. I love the defiance of that song. "We are written in the stars." I love that. Marcelo Stefani, how did you approach creating this record, being so synth oriented? Did you come up with the melodies on the acoustic or jump straight to a keyboard? I jumped straight to the keyboard mostly. In fact, there were many songs, probably, that I had to learn on the guitar once it was time to track guitar parts for the song. Not all of them, but enough, which was very interesting for me. I'd never experienced that before. It was really fun. Mike Weberman, good old Mike Weberman, asked a good question. How has the Lost Mile influenced your sound moving forward as you work on new music? I think if nothing else, it has really given me permission to do what I want to do, make the sounds I want to hear. I know someone else was asking about the new music. This music that I'm working on currently is actually a little bit more guitar focused. There are more, I'd say, guitar moments, songs that are driven by the guitar more than they are by the keyboards. But it's a combination, and I love all the shades. I love the colors. I'm obsessed with the different atmospheres that you can create. Joy Division. I'm sure you know it, but that song, if you don't, Atmosphere by Joy Division, very, very, very good. So Scott Zablotsky asked, any chance the next record will be a little more heavy on electric guitar? I'm sure Donovan wouldn't mind. I guess it's probably important for me to say that I am thankful. Richard J. Atkins, hello, sir. Great guitar lesson with Kara and Robert last week. Thanks for that. Thank you, sir. Thank you for doing that. I do little guitar lessons on Topeka and sing little songs for you. Personal messages on high note as well. We're all bobbing and weaving during this time to try and find other ways to support ourselves, and those two outlets have been really great for me. So if you're interested in Topeka or High Note, check out my profiles on both of those sites. I'd love for you to join in if that feels good to you. The guitar is my love. That's the reason I started down this path. But I want to always be authentic and true to the muse, because I do believe that inspiration is something that if you don't honor it, it leaves you. So I will just follow the muse. I will follow the sounds that I hear in my head. And I can understand there were some reactions, and understandably so, I believe, from longtime fans and friends who were like, wait a second, what's going on here? Totally get it. But I think at the same time, I just need to make the music that I hear in my head, and hopefully maybe these songs will resonate with people over time if they didn't right away. Okay. Right. Okay, trying to get here. El Brozy on Instagram. Hi, Matt. Lost Mile is definitely your mellow love story. I'll be your protector and take care of you album. And I do love your talent to go from mellow to rock. We can play a song based on our mood. Nice. I know that you are a very sweet, funny, of course I'm reading this one, very sweet, funny, fun-loving guy, and you are very private with your personal life. Yes. Is this album showing us a little more of who you are regarding your private life? Listening to your lyrics, do you like to be a caregiver, try to fix things, or is that something you fight not to be? I feel like I'm in a counseling session. That's hilarious. The songs I tend to play a lot more on this album are Out of the Blue and True Illusion. They seem to resonate with me. Well, thank you very much for that. I don't need to be a caregiver. I probably do try to be supportive to the people that I love, but I also love being supported by the people that I love. I guess it's all part of a give and take. And I do like my privacy, and I do like to have a private personal life. Um, but I do also, I think the real thing about this, and I think getting to it here, is just about being authentic with the feelings that I'm having. And if I'm feeling dark, I'll write a dark record. If I'm feeling pretty up and buoyant and happy, I also want to be able to do that. So, yes, Lisa the Biscotti lady, I know. So, so Lisa Rosati, just to be clear, if you want to have the greatest biscotti in the world ever, go to her house. Okay. We've sort of touched on this a little bit, Marty, but I do want to acknowledge the people who are kind of like guitars. Marty and Clues on Instagram. Matt, firstly, I'm a huge fan and have been since the beginning. VH are my favorite band of all time, and I think you are a fantastic writer. Thank you, singer and lyricist. My question is, did you struggle with the urge to turn up the guitars in the mix during this album, or was it an easy process, having leaned into it already with Echoes from the Underground? Great question. The short answer is it was not at all a struggle for me. In fact, everything is where I wanted it to be. When I listen back to this record, everything is where I feel it should be for this music, for this time in our, for that time in our lives. 2 years ago, back in 2018, 2 years ago, last year doesn't count. Okay. Marcel C. Fassis on Instagram, real amps or digital gear? Great question. I tend to like real amps. It's probably fairly obvious, rather, but I do love the digital stuff. I feel everything has its place. Sometimes for me, with the really specific atmospheric sounds, I will lean into the digital world a little bit more. I like the Line 6 Helix an awful lot, and I dive into that world. But generally speaking, I love going to specific amps and specific guitars to find the character that I'm looking for in a guitar track. Robin Hardy of the Hardy Tea Dynasty. Yes. Back in February 2018, you did an interview with Billboard Magazine. Can you elaborate on what you meant in the interview article about my self-destructive past and how you came about with new optimism for this amazing music? Thank you. It is definitely a change from where you started, but a wonderful piece of magic. Thank you. There was a time in my life where music, writing a song was the most important thing. So if I wasn't feeling inspired, I would do something to feel inspired. If I was happy and placid, I would do something to make myself sad and edgy. Sometimes that was as easy as bonking my knee against something. I'm making that up, in case you didn't notice. But there were things, that I probably can't get much more specific than that, to be fair, Robin. But I think more than anything, it's like realizing that if I'm wanting to write a bittersweet song, I don't need to be, at this point in my life, I don't need to be in a bittersweet place. I know those emotions. I can tap into them. I can actually be happy and write a sad song. And I didn't understand that back in the day. Okay, we've done that. Tony Rock Studio, are you done writing the next album? I might be. I'm always wanting to write. So if something else comes up, I will. I'll put it on there that if something else that I love, I'll record it. But the record, we're making good progress on it. I'm very, 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 very excited, as I should be. But I'm very excited about this new music. Okay, we don't have that much more time. I want to make sure that that we get to some live chat stuff here. I want to kind of acknowledge some people. Oh, ZG, you are one of my heroes. God bless you, sir. Oh, thank you so much. That is So kind. You know what? Why don't why don't I sing another song, and then we can talk for another minute or two or four, and then, right? Please do tune in to Thursday Night Therapy if you haven't checked it out. It's pretty fun. Okay. This is very different from the recorded version. Daybreak breaks through. Lights give way to light as we all give way to time. Oh, I hate walking here alone, and I'm holding on to stones. You're everywhere even when you're gone. You're everywhere even when you're gone. Current flows through my veins. Bliss almost hides the pain. Words flow so free in my mind, but I never, no, I never find the right time. And I whisper nothing of this, and I withhold the truth from my lips. And you listen even when you don't. Yeah, you listen even when you don't. Out of the dark into the blue, out of my head over you, into the light, into the sun, staring at you, out of the fires begin to fade. The smoke just floats away. And sometimes it seems the will is gone. Oh, but love is strong. out of the dark into the blue, out of my head over you, into the light, into the sun, staring at you out of the blue. Yeah. Into the light, into the sun, staring at you out of the blue. I'm staring at you out of the blue. I keep staring at you out of the blue. Well, thank you very, very, very much, everybody, for tuning in for the Lost Miles second, maybe it's officially the third anniversary. I am very grateful for your support. Please tune in to Thursday Night Therapy on Thursday night, stageit.com/vertical horizon. And we're going to do more of the Lost Mile. It'll be great. It'll be fun. Thanks to Mike Weberman for being there in the background doing this. And to all the people who have been so grateful, so helpful to me over this difficult time, i.e. the Thursday Night Therapy crew. It's so fun to see all the chat. Okay, that's it for tonight. Thank you very, very much. We'll see you on Thursday night. You guys be well. Thank you.